the richest women in the world. While everyone can name Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates as the world's richest men, when asked to name the world's richest women, they will either be left speechless or mention Oprah and Rihanna. Surprisingly though, neither Rihanna nor Oprah are among the world's wealthiest women. Even MacKenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, barely cracked the top 5. So, who is the enigmatic Amazonian at the top? How did all of these women amass such wealth? The most crucial question is, how do they spend it? Let's investigate. Welcome to Best Wonders, where today, we'll be showing you the richest women in the world according to Forbes. But before we continue, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you get more videos like this. Now, let's move on to the video. Number 10. Abigail Johnson. Since taking over for her father as CEO of Fidelity Investments in 2014, Abigail Johnson has also served as chairman since 2016. The massive Boston-based mutual fund company was established in 1946 by her grandpa, Edward Johnson II. She reportedly owns a 24.5% stake in the company, which manages $4.2 trillion in assets. In 2018, Fidelity introduced a platform that enables institutional investors to trade Bitcoin and Ether. Johnson has embraced cryptocurrencies. After earning a Harvard MBA, she joined Fidelity full-time as an analyst in 1988 after working there during the summers of her undergraduate studies. The Johnson family regularly contributes to Boston area nonprofit organizations. They have supported Harvard, the Institute of Contemporary Art, and historic New England. Number 9. Iris Fontbona. Andronico Luksic, who amassed wealth in the mining and beverage industries before passing away from cancer in 2005, is the late husband of Iris Fontbona. His 3 sons, Guillermo Luksic, John Paul Luksic, and Fontbona received his business holdings. Antofagasta plc, who owns copper mines in Chile and trades on the London Stock Exchange, is under the authority of Fontbona and her children. Additionally, Kienzo, a publicly traded Chilean conglomerate involved in banking, brewing, and manufacturing, is majority owned by Fontbona and her kids. Fun fact, Andronico, her son, scaled Mount Everest in 2004 and finished the 7 summits of the world in 2005, attaining the highest points in all 7 continents. Number 8. Suzanne Clatton. With a net worth of $23.7 billion, Suzanne Clatton inherited the majority of her money. Suzanne is the sole owner of Atlanta Ag and has important roles in the SGL Group, in addition to owning about 20% of the German luxury car maker BMW. The majority of Suzanne's wealth comes from her ownership of BMW, but she hasn't been sitting around doing nothing. Being an MBA, Suzanne used her talents as an economist to turn Atlanta Ag into the pharmaceutical behemoth it is today. Rather than spending her money on showy cars like Elon does, Suzanne invests in real estate and works to improve her management skills. Many people mistakenly think that we spend our days lounging on a yacht in the Mediterranean, Clatton revealed to Germany's Manager magazine in a rare interview with her younger brother that the responsibility of being a guardian of wealth also has unpleasant personal aspects. Number 7. Miriam Adelson. Miriam Adelson, the richest Israeli in the world, has a net worth of $25.4 billion and a triumph over adversity to match. Born in Palestine, Miriam Adelson opted to pursue a career in medicine after studying genetics and microbiology. All of this occurred in New York, and she met her spouse there. He became a billionaire thanks to Miriam's suggestion to convert one of his structures into a casino in the Venetian style. Sheldon took Miriam's concept and built it into the Las Vegas Sands Casino, a $48 billion business. Miriam is a devoted Zionist who has given hundreds of millions of dollars to groups and politicians on the right in order to advance Israel's objectives. For example, they contributed $1 million to GOP PACs and races in just 2020. Such efforts have, of course, been rewarded. When US President Donald Trump moved the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, the couple scored a major victory. In 2018, Trump also presented Miriam with a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Miriam enjoys giving to organizations and helping others, as demonstrated by her contributions to clinical research on addiction. She founded the Dr. Miriam and Sheldon G. Adelson Medical Research Foundation in 2003. The foundation has given grants totaling more than $180 million thus far. Number 6. Gina Rinehart. Gina Rinehart, the richest woman in Australia with a net worth of $28.6 billion, made the most of her money from her ownership of Hancock Prospecting, which she inherited from her father. Gina's father found his riches by chance. A farmer and bush pilot, he noticed a red color escaping from a neighboring gorge one day as he avoided a storm. Suspecting the color might be iron, he investigated deeper and discovered iron ores with higher iron concentrations than those found in the US. Hancock was earning millions and billions in royalties after engaging in some political lobbying and signing a few contracts. Hancock purchased 2 newspapers with his millions and began forging ties left and right immediately after. His dominion, however, eventually began to wane as his health began to deteriorate, and following his passing, Gina had to start from scratch. The majority of Gina's money is currently generated by one of the most prosperous mining companies in the world, Hancock Prospecting. Gina avoids going on stage and instead expresses her thoughts via her writing, in contrast to her father, who adored being in the public eye and utilized his newspapers to accomplish just that. When she stated that Australia should be more motivated to strengthen its defense, she was even prohibited from traveling to Russia. What a girl boss! Number 5. Julia Koch. Julia Koch became one of the richest women in the world after her wealthy businessman husband, David Koch, passed away in August 2019. Julia received a 42% share of Koch Industries, which is the 7th richest American co-owned, along with their 3 children. Bloomberg pegs her and her family's net worth at $58.4 billion as of March 2022. In contrast, Forbes pegs their fortune at an even higher $61.9 billion. Regardless of the precise sums in her bank account, this socialite, philanthropist, and millionaire is deserving of attention for the extraordinary ways in which she lives, works, and gives. Julia currently holds the position of president of the David H. Koch Foundation, which, according to its website, has donated more than $200 million to a number of causes, including science and medical research, education, and the arts. Number 4. MacKenzie Scott. MacKenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, the 2nd richest person in the world, is arguably the most prosperous divorcee in history. She is possibly the most charitable billionaire the world has ever seen, with a net worth of $31.5 billion. After it was discovered that Jeff Bezos had cheated on her, MacKenzie Scott recently received 25 of the billionaire's Amazon shares. Almost immediately after receiving her literal truckload of cash, MacKenzie Scott declared that she would donate it all to others who deserved it more. In just 2020, MacKenzie has given more than $6 billion, and she has no intention of stopping anytime soon. She intends to donate until she is completely out of things to give. Her ex-husband could benefit from some of her knowledge. She stated on her platform in July 2020 that she is resolved to return the majority of her riches to the society that contributed to its creation, to begin as quickly as possible, to do it carefully, and to keep working until the safe is empty. This effort is ongoing and will take years, she added. MacKenzie Scott strives to keep her donations private and gives to institutions that support poor minorities, in contrast to most wealthy benefactors who publicize their gifts and utilize them to gain favor with the public. She had given more than $2.75 billion to more than 286 organizations by June 2021. MacKenzie Scott has given more than $12 billion in donations so far in just 6 months. She has made great progress in the past 3 years, going from being broke to assisting everyone she could. She is an inspiration to others. Number 3. Jacqueline Mars. The Mars Candy Company is owned by Miss Jacqueline Mars. She inherited her riches through the success of her brand's sugary blockbusters, which her grandpa founded. Nearly all of Jacqueline Mars's $43.4 billion net wealth was acquired via the Mars brand. She also owns the McLean, a Virginia-based closely held corporation, which manufactures a variety of products, including Juicy Fruit, Snickers, Milky Way chewing gum, and M&Ms. The Mars brand is regarded as the biggest candy manufacturer in the world, with $40 billion in revenue in 2021. Every candy you enjoy probably comes from one of Jacqueline Mars's companies. However, her controversies aren't as tasty as her candies. She was involved in a car accident in 2013 where she was driving while unconscious. The collision resulted in the death of one person and the miscarriage of another. Jacqueline entered a guilty plea to the infraction. Surprisingly, no narcotics were discovered in her system. Instead, it was just terrible luck. As for her spending, Jacqueline Mars is quite discreet, and the only evidence of it shows that she is a fervent proponent of going green and that she frequently donates to the League of Conservation Voters, a group that works to advocate the passage of improved environmental regulations. Number 2. Alice Walton. Walmart is owned by Alice Walton. She's valued $56.6 billion in total. Alice Walton is a co-owner of Walmart, a company worth $572.8 billion. Yet, she appears to be more interested in other things. She decides to concentrate on her interest in art and her hobbies rather than increasing her fortune at Walmart. Do not misunderstand. Alice is not being idle by choosing to do nothing. After obtaining an MBA, she established her own bank, demonstrating her value. Later, she decided to take a break by selling the bank. She now enjoys spending 7 figures on pieces of art that capture her eye and has donated tens of millions of dollars to support charitable causes. She races prize-winning horses on her 3,200-acre ranch, but she prefers to live a tranquil life most of the time. According to her, the 3 B's are the key to racing exceptional horses. Look at the similarities between art and bones, brains, and balance. Number 1. Francois Bettencourt Meyers. The richest woman in the world is Francois Bettencourt Meyers, who has a net worth of $65.4 billion. 33 are owned by her family. She is responsible for the entire sum because she's the family's holding company's chairwoman. Greek mythology books have been written by Bettencourt, who also established the Bettencourt-Schuler Foundation in 1987 to support the arts, humanitarian purposes, and scientific research. Since the owner of L'Oreal rarely appears in the media, specifics of her spending are not publicly disclosed. The fact that her mother, Lillian Bettencourt, enjoyed extravagant gift-giving did come to light though. In a 2007 trial, Francois Bettencourt alleged that her mother was being taken advantage of and that individuals were stealing their inheritance by taking advantage of her compromised mental state. The specifics of an out-of-court settlement that was struck are unknown. Do you recognize the women on this list? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell for more of the world's best wonders.